Alright YouTube, this is Alex from Computer Headquarters, and I haven't made a video yet about all the stuff we got from Artesian builds in Oakland, mostly because I've been really busy. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. There was a lot of really cool stuff that we got, and I just want to make this video kind of like a highlight reel of my favorite things that we got, just to document it for myself and for the people that are interested. And I feel like, you know, a month could go by and a lot of it might be sold or gone, and I won't have any cool video. I won't have a video to remember it by. So anyway, let's just go down some of the stuff on this table here. So there's a lot of other cool stuff in our warehouse, just so you know, that wasn't from Artesian builds. It's things that we already owned. So if you see something that looked really cool and wondering why I'm not talking about it, it was probably not from Artesian builds. Also, we just got the North Carolina, part one of the North Carolina shipment in today, and so I'll probably make a separate video about that. In any case, let's just start with this little guy. This is some, what was it? Loke AB Sweden is the name of the company that makes this case. It's a little ITX guy, but unfortunately we didn't get all the panels that go to it, and they kind of did this funky like mounting stuff outside the case. So this is a Ryujin 2 240mm AIO, so that's pretty awesome. And the parts are really good. We've got a 12700K, and I believe that's 32 gigs of DDR5 G-Skill RAM, and I believe this is a Z690i motherboard. We got one of these SFX power supplies by Silversun. It's an SX1000, which is platinum. So there were no expenses spared on the actual parts, but it would have been better to not have the sloppy like outside the case mount stuff going on, and all these panels missing, and this like weird fan controller, RGB controller, like on the bottom of the case. I don't know what all that's all about, but we'll just take this apart. And then we've got, this is the ROG Eye of Faith case, which I believe it sells for about $1,000. It's very hard to get. You can only order it from like Alibaba and wait a month or two for them to send it to you if you ever get it. So I will never be selling this. We'll build something in this and keep it as a collector's item. Hey, maybe we'll put all the stuff in here into there. I don't know, but that is a ROG motherboard. We have a open loop system here, and this is a distro case 350p case, and it's one of three of these distro case 350ps we got from the lot from Oakland. The motherboard here is a Maximus 13 Extreme Glacial. That's like a $1,300 or $1,500 motherboard, if I remember correctly. This is a very odd build. It looks like they were working on it, never finished it, or I don't really know what's going on, but really expensive parts, but also very mix matched. So this is G-Skill Trident Z Royal. So this is DDR4, and inside of here is an 11900K. But you can see there's like frosted tubes here and clear tubes here, and then you can see there are like Sharpie marks on some of the bends. So I think they weren't done with all the final tubing. They were maybe just mocking up tubing. But anyway, yeah, sorry. RTX 3090. This is a very rare card that Asus did in collaboration with EK Water Blocks, and it's extremely tiny. Like here's my hand, and here's the video card. That's 3090. It's the smallest 3090 I've ever seen in my life. So I will definitely be holding on to that 3090. I actually wanted one of those, but they were going for like $5,000 when, you know, prices used to be crazy. So I'm glad to have one now. What's next? We got a couple of these Thermaltake P3 red cases that we're just going to continue to use as test benches. So you can see kind of over there in the mess that is our warehouse, we have these 3 Praxis wet benches that we use for testing video cards, and they're hooked up to these monitors up here. We're gonna need to, when we move to our next warehouse, which will hopefully happen soon, we need to duplicate this. We actually have a 4th wet bench too, but it just didn't end up fitting on this table. But we have lots of bigger tables now, so we're gonna want to have all 4 of our wet benches, and then probably 4 of those guys, and we'll have 8 monitors for testing video cards, because we actually do test a lot of video cards. So we'll probably just keep these similar to how they are. We might change some of the parts around. Like, they don't need 32 gigs of RAM. I think one has a 5900X. They don't need that. They could just have like a 5600X. It's just for benchmarking. So what do we have over here? This is a custom Artesian builds PC. Wow, this looks pretty nice. This is all out. I think someone was working on this right now. We're going through all the builds to test them and make sure they work, take pictures and put them up for sale. This still has all the, you know, plastic wrap. Everything here is brand new, just assembled. It was never sold to anyone. Or sorry, someone ordered it, but they never got it. They got their money back. And oh, just to touch base on that issue of people getting their money back, so far, almost everyone I've talked to, because I've contacted literally every person that had contact information on the computers that we got. I've contacted every single person, and almost everyone said they got their money back. And the people that didn't get their money back, they were fine with it or something, I guess. So, you know, I felt like it went pretty well. We also connected some people with their computers and gave them a huge discount, so that went really well. But this is a nice system. ROG Crosshair Extreme, so that's $800, $900 motherboard. Ryujin 2 360, so that's a $400 AIO. There are 9 QL fans, so that's like $400 of fans. The RGB tube sleeve, and then the strimmer, I think it's called, cables. So they've literally paid for pretty much every upgrade you could. I think that's probably a 5950X if I had to guess, and that's a 3090 Strix video card. So this was probably, based on the prices I've seen from Artesian builds, this was probably about a $7,000 or $8,000 system. Yeah, let's keep moving here. We got another distro case down there, another one over there. I didn't even notice that earlier. And this is the third one right there. So one of them is just an empty box, but one of them has a 12900K system in it, I believe. But yeah, so we got another system over here. This is missing the front glass for some reason, but we have extras we'll have to dig out of storage. And then this will be a complete build as well. We filled this up with water. It started leaking right away. We fixed the open loop and now it's not leaking. And this has actually been running for a whole weekend. It's been fine. But we still need to do a little bit of touch-up work on the tubing, I think, if we're gonna sell it like this. But this is, I wonder if I can, there was a mouse connected to it. No, it's not anymore. But when this was lit up, this is pretty awesome. This is a Z690 Water Force motherboard. So this is like a $1,300 motherboard, and that is an RTX 3090 Water Force video card. And there's like a screen back there. All the cables are strimmer cables, it looks like, and it has 9 of the Lian Li fans, and definitely an interesting job on the open loop, I would say. And you can see some of the tubes are frosted as well, kind of like that other build. So I think they just weren't done. You can see there's that kind of messy looking soft tube there. That was for filling and draining, or for draining, I should say, because the fill's actually right there. That's actually one thing I don't like about this distro plate. You can see it gets a lot of condensation up here at the top. I kind of wish that they would have just rolled this to go along the edge and then cut up to the top where the fill is. Or if there was a way to fill it from taking the top panel off, that'd be even better. But oh well, such is life. Let's see, I'm just kind of looking around the warehouse right now to see what else I could show you. That H510 Valhalla, that's a pretty rare case, I believe. I've never seen that before. So that's interesting. Let's go for an adventure. These are all builds right here, Artesian builds. Kate, there are builds inside of these boxes. Oh, that's interesting. That was an editing rig, I believe. And it has two 1080 Ti's and SLI. And it also has, I think, yeah, X99 motherboard with a decent chunk of RAM in there. This wasn't anything special. That was an older PC, but a lot of these PCs are from Artesian builds, I believe. And oh, look, that's an Asus RTX 37 Noctua edition. Those are really rare and pretty sweet. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those before, but I think Linus did a video with those the other day. So we have a mess going on over here because we just got a truckload of stuff from North Carolina. There's a bunch of stuff down here. So I'll go through this later once we know what we have. But I was going to show you guys the Death Star computer. So this is the Death Star computer. I feel like on the camera screen right now, it looks smaller than it actually is. This weighs like maybe not 400, probably 300 pounds, 250 pounds somewhere. It's pretty heavy, pretty awkward. And this is a fire pit that they designed into a computer case with a Thermaltake P5, and then they custom fabricated some like standoffs into this base plate that hold the P5 in place. The specs of the system though aren't anything too impressive. It's a 5900X, okay, that's pretty nice, but it only has a 3070, which I thought was a little odd. Like if you're gonna, this computer was, I can put the price on the screen, almost $7,000. Oh, it says 175 pounds for the Death Sphere. But then they got a pretty expensive motherboard, they got a decent cooler, they got strimmer stuff. But yeah, 3070 Ti. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go with like a 3080 Ti for this kind of build. A little strange to me. I actually haven't called, this is the one person I haven't called yet. So after I finish this video, I'm gonna call this guy. Anyway, let's walk back inside. This is a big rack full of like screws and stuff like that we got from them. Empty boxes. All right, we're gonna go into, oh, what am I thinking? I forgot to mention this. So that is an Inwin Winbot case inside of a crate, and we got 2 of these from them. They're both black colored. These are crazy expensive. They sell for like $6,000, or maybe it was 10. I think it was $10,000. Yeah, so we actually have one for sale right now, and we have now entered my office. There was a lot of cool stuff in here that is no longer in here because we sold some of it. But there is a kit of G-Skill Trident Z DDR5 RAM. I think this is a 64 gig kit, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 64 gigs because it's 16 gigs per stick, 5600 megahertz. It's RGB. This is really expensive RAM. This is all from one system, by the way. There was this RAM, two TB 980 Pros, and a 12900K. That came out of an Asus Maximus Extreme Glacial, but it was the Z691, and we sold it already. I think we sold the motherboard for $1,500. We sold it used because it had stuff, you know, installed into it, and we didn't think it was fair. If it's not in the sealed box, then we can't sell it as new. Let's just put it that way. If it's a full system that was built with new parts, then it's okay. Okay, anyway, keep going. Here we got a Waterforce Z590 motherboard. I forgot I probably missed out some of the phrasing I'm supposed to use there, but this was really expensive, like a $1,200 or $1,300 motherboard as well. And I believe, let's see if I can lift this up. No, this thing is, maybe I'll do it. I'm already this far. Yeah, I'll do it. There is an 11, you probably can't see right here, but that's an 11900K. So this is all kind of like bonus stuff. Like we didn't really know. I saw a picture of this on a desk, but you can't know what CPU's underneath there. And actually, I think there was RAM in this as well that I took out. I think it's Corsair Dominator. So that was cool. And then there actually is a Maximus 13 Extreme Glacial in this box. I'm gonna open it for you. So I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, this is also Z590. So the Z691 is worth, brand new, it's selling for $1,800. And this is Z590, so we're going to be selling this one as used. We have to reassemble it though. It looks like there are fittings still in there. I think we took all the parts out. Yeah, we need it. We have a little bit of work to do. Actually, this doesn't even come like that. I think it comes on a different tray. Maybe not, sorry, I don't know. The Z691 had 2 different trays basically for the water block came separated from the motherboard, so we'll have to look into that. We might be missing a tray or something that goes in there. But that's a great motherboard to just kind of get quote-unquote for free. We got some Artesian builds. Keycaps. Those are kind of cool, except the brand is defunct. There were a bunch of switches. These are all keyboard parts. But so Christopher Yee was here last Friday, and he said that he had commissioned them to build him a keyboard for $1,400, and he thinks that this might be it because we found this, and it was the only keyboard in the whole place. And he was pretty mad because he said he paid $1,400, and he said this is like a $200 keyboard base, which is still really expensive in the keyboard. You know, this is still a high-end keyboard build that you'd make in here. So when you're all done, you might be $300 or $400 when you're all said and done. But he was charged $1,400, and he was expecting something quite a bit crazier. And so yeah, his video should be coming out pretty soon. I actually had, this is not Artesian Builds related, but that is my own that I had just for collecting. And that actually, that Apex box, that's empty, but that was from Artesian Builds. I just liked the box, so I kept it. I don't know if I have much else in here to talk about. Here's a chair. This is a steel case. I think it was a Mia. I might have said that wrong. I get confused on all the steel case models. This is, sorry, this is kind of, I hope I'm not sounding mean, but this, I thought this was funny. I probably don't need to say much more, but I found this there and I thought it was funny. I think everything else in here wasn't from Artesian Builds. There are some things upstairs we have though, so I'm gonna go check that out. There's another one of these chairs. These are like 500 bucks. And there might be people eating lunch up here, so I'm gonna try not to get everyone on camera. Yeah, okay, so, sorry, I'm just filming a little quick video. We got a bunch of these gesture chairs. These are like $1,000. And this is like our storage locker up here. It's all chairs, basically. Chairs galore. Lots of steel case chairs. So yeah. That is pretty much it. There's a lot more stuff, but it's all in storage lockers and containers. So my neighbor has some pallets at his house. Thank you, neighbor. I'm sure he's not watching this, but thank you. And pretty much it for the video. I'm gonna cut it off. I hope that was kind of fun for you guys to see some of the stuff we picked up. And like I mentioned, there'll be another video about the North Carolina equipment we got coming up pretty soon. Thanks, guys.